After the standoff along the line of actual control in Ladakh's Galwan River Valley and in the Pangong Tso area, China is also now provoking in another sector in Ladakh. China is trying to block Indian patrolling in the Daulat Beg Oldie area between patrol points 10 and 13. Top sources tell India Today that the Chinese plan to encroach areas near the Karakoram Pass and get to the depth of their highways which move towards Pakistan over Indian territory. The patrol point 14 is the Galwan standoff point where an ugly brawl unfolded between Indian and Chinese soldiers on June 15th. India Today had also earlier accessed exclusive images that exposed China's devious intentions. Images that show camps, vehicles as well as vehicle tracks near the Chinese camps in Depsang. So far, there are in fact 5 flashpoints in the Ladakh region where India is matching China with its own mobilization and build-up. The latest Chinese mobilization has been witnessed in Depsang and Daulat Beg Oldie. Chinese military build-up was also seen in Hot Springs area via satellite images. Pangong and Galwan have already witnessed a standoff.
We broke the news about the June 15 bloodshed in We told you the true story of what really happened. We exposed China's relentless and dangerous mobilization in Pangong Tso. And now, the next big step in China's border plan. There is a fresh evidence that China may be trying to open a fresh front in northern Ladakh. Top sources tell India Today that China has begun mobilizing in the Depsang and DBO sectors from a base just over 20 kilometers away from Indian positions. India Today has accessed these exclusive images which unmasks the Chinese intentions. Camps and vehicles were spotted near the Chinese base in June. The Chinese base was built before 2016, but the new camps and vehicle tracks in the region are clearly visible in these recent satellite images.
Chinese have come with a particular aim, and this aim was decided at the highest level, and it is being executed by Western Theatre Commander Zhao Zongqi and Major General Liu Lin. So let's not get surprised that what is happening, because there is a design, and that design is exactly unfolding as per the Chinese plan.
The Depsang Plains were the site of a long and deep Chinese intrusion in 2013. And expecting trouble here, the Indian Army has already mobilized in a big way from May itself. If the Chinese attempt hostile actions here, they will meet exponentially stiffer resistance than in 2013. Taking no chances, India is keeping its eyes and ears close on ground and its powder dry. Leading from the front, Army Chief General M.M. Narwane, who is in Ladakh, met soldiers at the front line along the LAC. The Army Chief commended the troops who took part in face-offs with the Chinese soldiers in Ladakh for their high morale, exhorting them to continue with the same zeal and enthusiasm.
The Army Chief's big shabash to troops on ground is a major morale booster to soldiers deployed along the India-China line of actual control in eastern Ladakh. But there remains a cause for grave concern, and that is increased Chinese activity in the Depsang Plains. So it's not just Galwan or Pangong Tso. Depsang could well be a flashpoint. But here, the Indian Army is already deployed in large numbers to ensure that there is no Chinese army misadventure. With Shiv Aroor in Delhi and with cameraman Kripal Singh in Leh, Gaurav Sawant for India Today.
Almost 2 weeks after the bloodshed at the Galwan Valley, the Chinese have returned to the site of the flashpoint. Satellite images accessed exclusively by India Today show the extent of Chinese deceit fully. But this time, India is armed, India is fully ready.
One week after they defended Indian territory with their lives, 1 week after they made the supreme sacrifice, and on the very day the two sides agreed to disengage in the Galwan Valley, this is what the Chinese have done at the site where the June 15th clash began. Satellite images by Maxar from June the 22nd clearly show the Chinese have returned to the contentious area that sparked the bloodshed a week earlier. Let's first show you the sequence. This was the Chinese observation post spotted in May, roughly 20 meters inside on the Indian side. A day after the Galwan bloodshed, this is what was left of the camp. Clear signs of debris. The result of Indian offensive actions on the Chinese post, which had clearly violated the LAC and pledges in talks. Put the images together and it's clear the camp was destroyed and burnt. But now, precisely a week after the bloodshed, this is what satellites see at Patrol Point 14. 4 pieces of tentage, defensive walls, and even an infantry gun position. Considering it would have taken time to build these structures, it appears clear that the Chinese have been talking disengagement while doing precisely the opposite. Zooming out even further, the Chinese mobilization at Galwan becomes even clearer, with military vehicles, troops and earth-moving equipment clearly seen literally at the line of actual control. The Indian side has not been taking any chances either and has been building up its own forces. And once again, while the satellites were doing their work on the 22nd of June, it was India Today that reported the reality to you first.
On 22nd June, we reported how more than 1,000 men from both the sides stood extremely close to the line of actual control on the either side, separated only by a few meters. This happened days after the bloodshed in Galwan. And now, latest satellite images and inputs from the ground confirm what we reported. The question is, how did the Chinese continue the build-up when the talks between the two armies were going on?
It's important to note that this was the situation on the day the Corps Commander level meeting was on. All eyes will now be on whether a pledge to disengage will follow through. With Ankit Kumar and Abhishek Bhalla in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.